Something grabbed him before he could react, and there was nothing there. The others saw his body jerk, heard him choking, watched him being pulled backward across the deck, while he fought against empty air. When they tried to hold on to him, it felt like pulling him away from something that wouldn't let go, and the moment their grip slipped, he was gone, and none of them dared to step into the space he left behind. Captain Thomas Hale, the ship's commanding officer, stands on the open deck overseeing passengers, as Arthur Briggs, the ship's engineer, reports unusual pressure fluctuations from below. As they speak, a crewman nearby suddenly jerks backward, as if grabbed, his boots scraping the deck, before being dragged out of sight, leaving both men staring at an empty space no one steps into. Reacting to the incident, Hale orders everyone inside, while Arthur inspects the narrow corridor where the man vanished, noticing deep drag marks that stop abruptly mid-floor. As they follow them, footsteps begin echoing ahead of them without a source, matching their pace until the sound suddenly shifts behind them. Arthur descends to the engine room to ground himself in something mechanical, but the machinery is already running at a rhythm he didn't set, vibrating unevenly like a second pulse. Over the noise, he hears someone calling for help from within the walls, and when he reaches toward the sound, something pulls sharply from the other side. Hale moves through the sleeping quarters, accounting for passengers, but every head count feels inconsistent, as people insist someone is missing, while others claim no one is. As tension rises, a man mid-conversation freezes, his voice cutting off, before he is pulled sideways out of view between two bunks, without a single sound. Trying to regroup, Hale and Arthur move toward the upper deck, but the stairwell feels narrower than before, the air heavy and close. Halfway up, something rushes past them going downward, unseen but forceful, brushing hard enough to stagger them, as a distant scream cuts off instantly below. Hale attempts to send a distress signal, but the radio emits fragments of their own voices, repeating out of order, as if recorded moments that haven't happened yet. Behind him, a chair drags slowly across the floor on its own, stopping just short of him as the door quietly shuts, without being touched. Arthur checks the cargo hold after hearing movement, finding crates shifted into unnatural positions, forming tight pathways that weren't there before. As he moves through them, something begins following just out of sight, its presence marked by objects tipping over one by one, in a straight line toward him. Hale orders the lifeboats prepared, desperate to leave, but as ropes are lowered, they tighten suddenly as if bearing weight, before snapping upward violently. One of the remaining men is pulled over the railing mid-action, disappearing without a splash, leaving the ropes swinging over empty water. Now alone together, Hale and Arthur try to stay in sight of each other, but the ship feels altered, distances stretching subtly between steps. Arthur begins responding to something Hale cannot hear, speaking quietly as if being guided, until he steps away, and is taken in a single, silent motion, leaving Hale completely alone. At first light, the ship drifts quietly with no sign of struggle, its engine still running unevenly, as if nothing ever happened. When it is later found, there are no bodies, no clear signs of escape, only the lingering sense that whatever moved through the ship never actually left. It wasn't the ship taking them. The moment each person reacted to the presence, listening to it, following it, or even resisting it, they were already separated from everyone else, just not visibly at first. By the end, they hadn't all vanished at once, they had been divided into different, unseen layers of the same ship, each one believing they were the last left. If you were on that ship and the space around you started feeling occupied, when no one was there, would you stay where you are, or start moving, and risk being the next one no one can see? Follow for more stories like this and tell me in the comments what you think was really on that ship.